This week's Hometown Happenings is brought to you by the Detroit Lakes School District.
Welcome to Hometown Happenings. I'm Carol McCarthy here at the Detroit Lakes Middle School once again. It is our occasional series here with Detroit Lakes School District as we wrap up the 2012-2013 school year, and we're celebrating some of the great things happening in the school district. And with me today are a couple of middle school teachers, language arts teachers, and Ashley Moen and Linda Mickelson, and they're here to talk about the iPad initiative, which was cool thing going on this year. The first time this happened for any class in the school district. And what has been your experience, Linda?
Well, it's been a difficult road, but very, very, what's the word, Ashley? It's boosted our scores, and that's what it's all about. For me, it was like, if this isn't going to boost scores, why are we going to do this? If this isn't going to help the children, why are we going to do this? And Ashley and I both had great MAP scores. As you parents know out there, we do MAP testing at least 2 or 3 times a year, and our scores, most all of them went up, I would say, this year, which is just phenomenal. We have to wait for our MCA results, but it's been a hard road, but it's been a great road. I'm feeling good about it now.
Ashley, did you find yourself being more creative using the iPads? We have a couple of them here that the teachers are holding, but did you find yourself being more creative once kind of the initial learning curve happened?
Definitely. I feel like the students tapped into that curiosity more as well, and their creative side, creating projects and putting their knowledge into projects. So that was really awesome to see the individuality of the students.
All right. So something with language arts, what were some of the things that the kids learned on the iPad or with the iPad?
Well, they got to practice a lot of skills more than they used to, more with Study Island, and so that was really nice with the immediate feedback. They knew exactly that moment if they were getting it or not. And they did a lot of terms and definitions as well in language arts and reading, and just reading on the iPad and getting that feedback right away as well.
So how did homework work with the iPad?
For us, it was not as hard, I don't think, as maybe math. They did a lot more with the Schoology program with a lot of paperless assignments. I still like to kind of write in language arts, but I'll get there. I'm still working at that. And it was great. A lot of them, there was only a few kids that couldn't bring their iPads home. Most of the work did get done. You know, even if they couldn't get it home, they did it at recess or they found time to get it done. All in all, I'm really pleased with it. We're using it like a laptop. I just finished 2 papers in my class, a narrative piece and a persuasive piece, and it's been great because they got to work on it. They could actually work on it at home with their computer as well, because we haven't been allowing them to take their iPads home the last week or so, and it's been great. I love the change. Love it.
So how did it work at the beginning of the year? Each kid, did they get to keep the iPad for the entire year?
Well, like Linda had said, some students weren't able to take it home, but they just learned all the ins and outs. We had to give them time to explore, and that just made them even more just knowledgeable of how to use it. And so, yeah, they got to keep it at home. Unless there were maybe some issues at home, then we would keep it here at school. So it's very fluid, and we were flexible. So.
Ashley Moen and Linda Mickelson here with me at the middle school for Hometown Happenings, celebrating the Detroit Lakes School District and talking about the iPad initiative. We're going to take a quick break and be back with more after this. Welcome back to Hometown Happenings. I'm Carol McCarthy with Linda Mickelson and Ashley Moen here at Detroit Lakes Middle School. There are a couple of language arts teachers that work with 5th graders. Now, are you only 5th grade language arts teacher?
Yes, I've taught 6th grade in the past, and I moved down to 5th grade when the 5th graders joined us here at the middle school.
Great. Now, talk a little bit about, earlier you had mentioned about the tests that the students take, the state tests, and it's kind of I guess, an accountability testing that the students go through. How has that, have you seen the scores increase and that sort of thing with the iPad?
Okay, we talked a little bit about the MAP test. The district actually wants us to it's their measuring tool, their diagnostic tool to see the growth of each student. And we've been using MAP in this district for many, many years. And sometimes you see the growth, sometimes you don't see the growth. And this year it was an extreme jump for 5th grade, I think. That's my opinion. I mean, I've taught 6th grade for many, many years, but this year everybody seemed to have an increase. And it's because of, I think, programs like Study Island. I asked the students, I said, what helped you this year? Why were your scores so high? Well, it was all the terminology and vocabulary apps that we used. It was spelling apps that we used. And Study Island was their main tool for increasing their scores. Ashley, you want to tell us a little bit about Study Island? I know.
Sure. Study Island is standards-based. They are able to see a lesson, play with flashcards on the different skills, and then they can do practice questions, and they can also take tests on Study Island. So once again, it's that immediate feedback, so they know exactly how they're doing after every single question. They can get blue ribbons, so that it shows that they've mastered the skills. And it's also nice because the parents can be emailed weekly on their progress. So it's a pretty neat tool we use.
So would you say communication got better using the iPad?
Definitely. I feel we've all set up parent emails. Something else we're using is a calendar where the students can subscribe to our calendar. Then they know what's due, what's coming up. So parents can get that as well. And just in general, even with the students, I feel like we've communicated way more than I've ever communicated in the past.
All right. Now, I understand the iPad initiative is now going to be part of not only the 5th graders, but I think the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students here at the middle school. So are you going to be part of a training team now that you have all this experience?
Well, we have a lot of experience, but a lot of it is hands-on. Once you get into your classroom, they'll figure it out. We've gone through a lot of bumps, and with Lowell and Rob and everybody that's helped us, they're going to have an easier road than we did, but there's still going to be some bumps. And I think age is going to be a difference. 5th grade is going to be different than 8th grade concerns. And I really have faith in Rob and Lowell that they'll take care of all this, plus the 8th grade teachers. We are here if they need us for anything, and we've met with them and answered any questions that we think might help them.
And that's Rob Nielsen and Lowell Nicholas.
Yes.
And Lowell's the education director, and Rob is head of technology.
Yep, he's a technology coach for us too. Yep.
So lots of a team working here behind the scenes with the iPad initiative. And what are some of the things maybe that you learned that maybe needs improvement?
Oh, golly. Games. We learned how to shut those off. And so if any parent wants to know, just get in contact with one of us and we'll show you how to disable that at home. That's probably one of the bigger things. At recess time, they wanted to sit inside and do that. But as we all know, it's best that they get outside and get those wiggles out. So yeah, that was maybe one of the bigger things.
All right, and for the most part, did the iPads all come back intact, or were there a few little mishaps?
Yeah, there were a few little mishaps. I think a little bit more than what we thought. And we were told that the Little Falls School District had one iPad broken, and that was by a teacher or something like that. And it was like, oh my gosh. And we had a lot broken. But our cases aren't as expensive as the Little Falls cases were. But, I guess figuring it in the long run, fixing the iPad screen was cheaper than buying the expensive cases. So they're thinking everything through. I'm really impressed with how they've thought it through. The kids will drop it. You know how cell phones get dropped. Kids are kids. It's expected. It's what happens, and it's not the end of the world. I'm sure they'll work on their policies next year a little bit on how they're going to deal with that with 4 grade levels rather than just 1 grade level.
Well, Linda and Ashley, we are out of time, but I want to thank you for talking to me today about the iPad initiative, and good luck next year.
Thank you very much.
And for Hometown Happenings, I'm Carol McCarthy.